Yeah. Guess what? Guess what? I'm back again, man. I don't know where to start, so I'm just gonna start talking. Essentially, I'm here back with some Bayside stuff, some Bayside Miami information, two interviews. I got two interviews. I got, two blue-collared, hard-working American patriot type kind of American kind of types doing some interviews. Coming in it, and I believe they're completely objective. They are giving their truth and like they're older Americans, and I don't think they have a big social media presence, so they seem like they have no vested interest in trying to like gain followers. Not only that, so we got CERN, we got that particle collider, we got portals opening up over where the particle collider is located, and so you're getting quite a few bits of two new interviews and some crazy footage, man, some stuff over the skies of the CERN facility. And I think this was pretty dope, man. I think you should actually stick around, tune in, and to all my next videos just to get more information. So this is part 2 of the Bayside Mall Miami incident. Thanks for being here with me. Peace, love, and prosperity, man. So first we're kicking it off with
the report. Okay, this is a year ago.
The report.
Biscayne Bay, a chaotic scene near Bayside Marketplace after dozens of police cars flooded the area.
Yeah, police say it all started after a group of teenagers became unruly. According to investigators, some were fighting and others were setting off fireworks, which then led people to believe they heard gunshots, and that just caused panic. Officers quickly responded to the scene. 3 people are now in custody.
Like, literally, you could have...
Only 3 people in custody is kind of insane when it was supposed to be hundreds of people and it was like almost a million cops, man. Come on, dog. Like, it doesn't even make sense.
Could have just copy and pasted that for this year. Right? God, yeah, same thing's happened. It's strange, right? Real big coincidence.
Yeah, I think that happens a lot. All the YNs in Miami, all the YNs coming through all across the big major cities in America. They kicking butt and taking names, you know what I'm saying? They're robbing folks and they coming after you. And so is Trump. Trump's coming after you too, boy.
Now, what sort of webbed out from this is the connection between that and CERN. Now, if you haven't heard of CERN, CERN is a company that I haven't researched as much as like...
So like I said, CERN is a particle collider, and basically what they thought happened in Miami Mall was that a portal opened up to another dimension, like Stranger Things, and some alien entities walk through. So if you collide particles, which CERN is essentially doing, they're colliding particles, trying to determine if they can make a black hole, trying to see if there's any validity in the Big Bang and the origin of the universe. What is actually happening when you collide particles? Can you open up a wormhole? Can you open up a new portal or a dimension? And they believe that they possibly can, but only for a split second if you collide particles.
Should have about CERN, okay? But what I can gather, CERN is a company in Geneva that has built something underground, like a huge tunnel, a round tunnel under Geneva, right under the ground. And what they're doing is they are firing off particles at the speed, almost the speed of sound, with massive amount of energy, and they're trying to collide them, right? They're trying to create more particles. And also, it could maybe explain, like, the Big Bang, things like that.
If you can collide particles, you can make the particles hit each other to create density. Density can create gravity. Gravity can create black holes. There's a ripple effect. Then you discover new particles based off of the collision of other particles, essentially splitting atoms and creating like this so dense and immense pressure, which ultimately can lead to another dimension. I'll pull up ChatGPT real quick and I'll let him explain CERN and how many dimensions we have. Mathematically, what is possible for dimensions? Stand by on that, because I'm about to whip it out on you real quick and good, just like how you like it. ChatGPT, briefly describe CERN and how many possible dimensions that we have. Yeah, I can't spell, I don't care, but here we go. Real briefly. Let's say we got 4 dimensions. In short, we live in four dimensions. Let's see.
CERN, the European Organization for Nuclear Research, is the world's largest particle physics laboratory, located near Geneva, Switzerland. It's famous for operating the Large Hadron Collider, LHC, the most powerful particle accelerator on Earth. Scientists at CERN smash particles together at near light speeds to study the fundamental building blocks of matter and the forces that govern them. This research has led to major discoveries, like the Higgs boson in 2012. As for dimensions, physics offers a few perspectives. Everyday life. We experience 3 spatial dimensions: length, width, height, plus time, making 4 dimensions total. String theory. Some advanced theories suggest there could be as many as 10 or 11 dimensions, with extra dimensions being compact, hidden, or curled up too small for us to perceive. Speculative ideas. Some researchers and science communicators even entertain higher numbers, but those are still theoretical and unproven. So, in short, we live in 4 dimensions, but physics allows for the possibility of many more, up to 11 in mainstream theories. Do you want me to also explain why string theorists think those extra dimensions might exist in a quick, easy to digest way?
Yes, please. Hey, stick with me, man. Don't dip out yet. Don't leave so soon. You know I'm here. Just check it out real quick. It'll be over soon. And then you're in a hurry to get done watching this video because you think it's trash.
Perfect. Let's break it down simply. Why physicists think extra dimensions might exist? The math needs them. String theory says that the basic building blocks of the universe aren't point-like particles, but tiny vibrating strings. For the math to stay consistent, no contradictions, those strings need to vibrate in more directions than just the 3 of space plus 1 of time. That's why the equations naturally expand to 10 or 11 dimensions. Unifying forces. One of physics' biggest goals is to combine gravity with the other forces: electromagnetism, strong nuclear, weak nuclear. Extra dimensions give a framework where all forces could be explained as different shapes of vibrations in higher dimensions. Hidden, curled up space. Think of an ant walking on a garden hose. To you, the hose looks like a one-dimensional line from far away, but the ant experiences another hidden dimension, the circular path around the hose. Extra dimensions might be like that, compact and rolled up at scales so tiny, Planck length, that we can't detect them yet. Gravity's weakness. Gravity is billions of times weaker than the other forces. One theory says it leaks into extra dimensions, which could explain why it feels so faint compared to electromagnetism, like how a flashlight beam spreads out in many directions. So, physicists don't know if extra dimensions are real, but they appear as a mathematical necessity when trying to solve the deepest puzzles about reality. Would you like me to also give you some...
No, thank you. Yeah, so it's probably 11 dimensions, let's be honest.
What they're trying to do. That's what they claim that they're trying to do. Now, you could go down the dark side of the story, or keep to that side of the story. The dark side of the story is that the whole fundamental idea of CERN is built on very dark ideas and very...
I don't know. I think it's literally a causation for discovery. Essentially, what they're trying to do is understand the universe and build upon that. If we can access certain dimensions and learn new technology, it only comes at the cost of the advancement of the human race. Maybe there might be some eugenics at play, but essentially, I think there will only be advancements, achievement, and a necessity for growth. The more we know, right? And we might even understand why we exist and even the meaning of life.
Dark things happening. Like, there's a video going around of like rituals and stuff like that, and their symbol is like some sort of goddess that is a goddess of destruction or something like that. It's quite dark, okay? But the connection between that and Miami Mall is, well, look, they're trying to create black holes, and what they have done is they've created a black hole, or some sort of a portal, I should say, a time portal. And this is where people are connecting the dots, right? Let me show you this video.
in Switzerland.
Now this is a video for you. Focus your eyeballs on this aerial phenomena above, what they say, Switzerland? Wait. Above the CERN facility. Above the CERN facility.
A portal, I should say, sorry. A time portal. And this is where people are connecting the dots.
This portal literally looks like, so watch this. Wait till you see this. It's gonna look like the portal from Avengers, man. When they about to whoop on old buddy. What's his name? Old buddy with the power hand glove with the rings. So yeah, Doctor Strange opened up all those portals and everybody coming through, and all the Marvel Avengers and all the Marvel homies.
Let me show you this video.
In Switzerland on December 20th,
Switzerland, there you go. Sorry, go ahead.
2023. No coincidence, I'm sure, that that's the same location that CERN's particle accelerator's at.
And the date.
Look at that. They opened up a portal or a black hole or whatever the case may be. And what he's going to say next is the date was in December, sometime in December. And so less than a month later is when the Bayside Mall incident happened and the portals opened up. So if we're opening up a portal over the skies of CERN with the particle accelerator, the potential of them opening up a portal in the mall essentially could be tied back to CERN, because both of them are portals. What a quinky dink. Both have interdimensional beings coming through. Aliens, you know, look at that. It look like alien could come through that portal right there, man.
Right, December 2023. Right? Listen again.
December 29th, 2023. No coincidence.
December 29th, 2020.
Oh, my apologies. I'm just now catching that the 29th of December. The 1st of July is when the portals open up at the mall in the Bayside Mall. That's crazy, man.
Same location that CERN's particle accelerator's at.
So it's the same location as the CERN accelerator. Like literally underground there. It's the accelerator. Okay?
That's a day later, man. A day later, the portals open up.
And here's another.
If you watch my last video, the portals open up in the mall, or literally some CCTV camera footage at the end of my video. If you watch all the way through towards the end of the video, you'll see the footage on the camera, on the security cameras, pointed out by the security guards. You see that flash of light. You see the aura. You see the outer layer of the portal in the camera footage. Watch my last video. It absolutely looks just like it, man. Look, it's insane. You can see the waves and the energy coming off of the portal.
Imagine being in CERN. Right? Okay, right. First of all, I'm sorry. Like, I have got an open mind, but
Yeah, that's tight. So yeah, so we doing all that right there, and we gonna jump into this one real quick. So she talking, he talking, they talking, we talking about this. Let's get it.
But right. Listen to this.
They're trying to open a portal. They've actually done it before. Last time was in 2016.
On July 5th, the European Organization for Nuclear Research, CERN, is restarting the Large
She got adult teeth and baby teeth. Look at her.
Hadron Collider. The LHC has been in use since 2010, and it just had some updates done, and now it's firing up again. But it's not a conspiracy. They're being very clear about what they're doing. The LHC collides particles at extremely high speeds and watches what happens to see if they break apart or form new things. And that gives clues about how the universe itself and everything in it formed. It also helps us understand what the universe is composed of, including things like dark matter. But the
dark matter, the darkness of the matter. We got dark matter, we got black ice, we got darkness. The darkness under the bed, man. It's a common theme amongst all of them, man.
LHC has
dark matter. Yeah, that doesn't sound good, love.
never created a wormhole or a black hole ever. It probably never will. But if it did,
Probably never will, but it could do.
did create a black hole, it might not be a bad thing. Black hole
It might not be a bad thing.
would be microscopic and
Yeah.
would disintegrate immediately, but we would learn so much about the universe.
Listen.
Be a bad thing. Black hole would be microscopic and it would disintegrate immediately, but we would learn so much about the universe. Also, black holes aren't
You're gonna get sucked in, man. Asshole first is gonna grab on the nearest particle close to it, and it's gonna start sucking. It's gonna start sucking so strong, it's gonna suck everything, and everything is gonna start growing bigger and bigger in mass. I don't think you understand what a black hole is. You know, literally it's gonna grow and grow exponentially larger and larger and larger based off of the point of no return when everything starts to get sucked in. It's called a black hole because it's so strong it even sucks in light particles. Essentially, not even light. It's literally what you're going to see is the absence of light. There's not going to be a reflection, but the density is going to be so immense. I don't think she understands what a black hole is. It's a collapsed star, essentially. But if you can do that with particles, colliding the particles,
Intrinsically dangerous. It's just a massive object. They don't suck things in. Anyways, the LHC.
they do suck things in. You can't suck things in with your teeth. I don't want to get nothing sucked with those teeth.
They did. I thought black holes had an immense amount of like a gravitational pull. I thought a black hole was a collapsed star.
You do. You're right, man. It is a collapsed star. Essentially, innate in the natural creation and formation of a black hole is essentially a collapsed star. It's collapsed. The amount of pressure because of the gravitational pull has collapsed itself in on itself because it's not structurally sound anymore. So when a sun is burning and it's a ball of gas and it starts to run out of fuel, essentially it collapses because it's not structurally sound anymore. And then because of that, it becomes extremely dense and the gravitational pull becomes extremely immense. Essentially what happens, man.
Right? That, like, if you have a planet or a star, it has its own gravity, right? So when you crunch it together, it still has that same amount of gravity.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought a black hole was, right? It just implodes and then causes a black hole and everything gets sucked into it. That's what I thought it was, but clearly she knows more than me.
Yeah.
LHC can achieve an energy that no other particle accelerators ever have before, but that doesn't even compare to what happens in nature. Cosmic rays collide with particles in the Earth's atmosphere at much greater energies, and we're fine. Hey,
Yeah, she has no clue what she's talking about. But I mean, whatever, bro.
Buddy is trying to open a portal to another dimension. They're trying to find evidence of other dimensions, but that just means discovering new tiny little particles.
But you said
She got a silver lining on everything, man. She got a positive outtake on life, and I really appreciate that. You know, either way you spin it, it's positive for her. You know, even if we getting sucked off by a black hole and we're all gonna die, there's some type of silver lining. I really appreciate that take.
okay, I've got to just break this down a little bit. They said that they're not trying to find other dimensions, but if they did, right? Are you trying to tell me if they did see other dimensions, curiosity wouldn't kill the cat? They would be like, what should we do with this? Should we try?
If you watch Stranger Things, curiosity definitely got the cat killed, or essentially it was real close, because not only did we have portals, but we had interdimensional beings. They were trying to destroy, kill, take over the planet, essentially make our reality theirs. They were going to cross over the void into our dimension and wreck shop. Good thing that the little girl had magical powers, wherever the case may be. But, you know, that was all curiosity. Curiosity almost killed us in that TV show, essentially. Not real life, but yeah.
Go there, or should we try to do something with this? They would, naturally, they would.
Go to another dimension. They're trying to find evidence of other dimensions, but that just means discovering new tiny little particles. You couldn't go to another dimension. And just to be clear, they've never done this yet. Nobody's ever discovered an unknown dimension. So this is all they're...
Yet. Anyway, so that's basically her version of what's going on in CERN, which I think...
I respect it, man. I like it. I like her version of things. You know, it's always a silver lining. You know, the world is innocent through our eyes.
That yes, you could pull that apart and rip it to pieces and say, actually, yeah, but what if? But that's pretty much CERN in a nutshell. Again, we've spoken briefly on the dark side of it, which a lot of conspiracy theories are out there about that. I wanted to address that because there is a lot of talk about it at the moment, okay?
Let's dive into it. You know, let's dive into the interview, because this dude going to be rattling off a bunch of blah, blah, blah for a bit. Let's see. About right there. I like it when you do this. Like I say, a blue-collar worker, you know, living in a trailer. You got his knickknacks up here. Knickknack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. Sitting on an old leather couch. He looking like, you know, he owns a couple of guns, quite a few of them, man. Old blue collar, good old American.
How did this all happen from the Hard Rock to the Bayside Mall? Just kind of walk us through. First off, why were you even at the Hard Rock?
Well, my sister came down to visit me, so I took her down to Miami to the Hard Rock down there to do a little gambling, have a little fun.
Do a little dance. Make a little love. Get down tonight. Get down tonight.
And, you know, we got tired of gambling for a little bit, so you wanted to do some, you know, shopping, to go out and buy some stuff, you know, for the kids, take back home. So I said, the mall's not too far from here. Let's go to the mall. So that's what we did.
Like 40, 50 minutes away, something like that.
And, you know, went to the mall. We were going to get something to eat while we were there and everything. But we're walking around, just kind of looking and everything. All of a sudden, I hear these screaming. People start screaming.
If it's okay with you, you know, not like you really have a say in the matter, but I'm gonna go ahead and speed this up to maybe about, let's say 1.25 should be suitable, right? Let's do it.
I'm not sure if I heard gunshots again, but we heard stuff like pop, pop, pop. Mm-hmm. But I didn't really sound like a gun to me. But then these people are running by us, they're panicking. And I'm going, fuck, what do we do? We walk into a movie scene? You know, there's film production scenes going on, maybe we got to slip by and maybe we're making a movie.
Right.
But these people are running, and they actually knocked my sister down for a second. She got up.
Man, she got back up, man. Thank God she got back up. And, you know, she alive and well. And praise Jesus, man.
She was scared. I was kind of scared. I thought it was, you know, maybe someone's in there shooting at people. Like, you know,
right.
And then I seen like 2 or 3 SWAT guys run past me, and I looked the way they were going, and I could see it looked like these big, tall, maybe 10, 12 foot tall.
I got a theory on that. A theory on those SWAT guys. We're going to get back to that in a bit.
Best I can say is they looked like they were shadows, but yet, you know, they wouldn't. They were solid. You could tell they were solid. They were tall. Kind of make you think of the average alien that you see on TV, you know, big tall.
Did it look like an alien? Like the shadow of an alien?
It looked humanoid, but not humanoid. And
yeah, because no human that we know of is 10 or 12 feet tall, so I mean, that's
still running by me, scared. People were falling down and running.
Man, so you know what I think is? So shadow aliens about 10 feet tall. We're talking about holograms. I think it could possibly be, you know, some drone footage, some drones projecting a hologram inside the mall, creating this false narrative about these. It's the early stages of Project Bluebeam to scare the public, just to test it out on a smaller group, very controlled group of people up in close quarters inside of a mall. And or it could actually be interdimensional beings, and this could be really real. It could be aliens. Essentially, either one could be very plausible. You know, nothing's off the table, man.
And I'm sitting there thinking, what the hell is it? I'm still thinking we walked into a movie.
It was just like something out of a freaking nightmare.
And this is his sister right here.
Like, you know, it was real. I mean, like these big, tall, like shadowy things, and I looked over at you and I was like, you were gone. It was like there were so many people from that mall just running and screaming, and I mean, it was scary. It almost kind of reminded me of, you know, like 9/11 and all that shit when the towers fell and all that. That was kind of scary, but you know, is all the smoke. Remember when the towers fell and all the smoke came? And I mean,
I can't think of you know. So it was reported that these kids, these YNs, had a bunch of fireworks and sticks and all this stuff like that. That's what was reported. Is that's what that was. And if all the smoke, it could have been fireworks, but I can't really imagine it to create that image of a 10-foot alien, though. You know, that's difficult for me to say.
Just like all the smoke, but it was the shadows of this image, and they were coming at you, and I don't know, man, it was like a freaking nightmare, and it seemed like, you know, it took me forever to find you, and that, I don't want to ever come back down there if I was going to be case like that, because, you know, this shit fucking, that was pretty damn scary.
Production.
Right.
You know, I was scared. But all of a sudden, my sister was happening with all the people. She took off. So I took off too, because I don't know what it was. I didn't want to get ate by an alien.
Right.
Right. You better run. You know, it's like, that's the thing. Like, you know, we talking about world star hip hop. Everybody, you know, when a fight kick off, break off, people swinging and stuff, the crowd, what they do, they watch. They pull out their phones, they be like, world star. Like, they're watching that fight. Essentially, that's what they're. But when you talk about a silverback gorilla coming in the mall, running at you, boy, busting heads, ripping shoulders off, you know, breaking necks, it's a different story. You know, you not pulling out your cell phone, and that's a gorilla. Imagine a 10-foot tall alien. Like, it's time to run. You know, shoot Nah, you're not thinking. You're not thinking it's time to record. You thinking it's time to run. It's time to survive. It's either eat or be eaten, man. It's a dog eat dog world. Aliens are about to break your foot off, and you getting messed up, boy.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Straight off the bat, mate, this is crazy. They seem. I always say this. I might try my channel name it too. Sounds pretty legit.
It sounds pretty legit. I mean, let's be honest with you, man. What do they have to gain? Like I said, no social media presence. They're not trying to get IG followers. They're not trying to get some YouTube monetization. You know, they're not, like, honestly, they seem like some good, hardworking Americans. Just blue collar folk. They was at the casino. They was trying to, break some bread, spend some cash. They went to Bubblegum Shrimp, trying to get some shrimp. They was at the mall trying to have a good old time, and then all of a sudden, so now they got this testimony. I don't think they got nothing to gain. I don't think they trying to pull a fast one on us, y'all.
But it does, right?
It was.
And people were saying that, like, they thought fireworks were going off or something
It
like
sounded
that.
like pop, pop, pop to me, but it didn't sound like a big shotgun blast or an AR-15 or anything like
Right.
Because I remember when the graffiti artist, he started speaking about it.
that. Balls and busting them. Pop, pop, pop.
Wow.
Sounds. And then there was a buzzing sound. The buzzing sound, the best I can describe it. Have you ever heard those transformers when they're getting ready to blow?
Could be fireworks. Could be aliens, man. I don't know.
Like the ones that are on, like, power poles and stuff. Power cable lines.
That's what it kind of sounded like. And then you could smell like, I guess maybe like burning wires.
Mhm.
There was that kind of smell in the air too.
Oh.
So I didn't see anything, but I'm thinking in my mind that pop, pop, pop. It might have been electrical bulbs and some kind of thing that popped.
Right.
Because that's what it sounded like, a transformer, exactly.
But inside the mall, though, that's where you
Yeah, there's no transformers,
Right.
you know of them.
There's no transformers here that you know of.
Rip in the attic or something. But yeah, I tell you what, I always believed there's aliens, but then back then they thought they're never going to be here.
Mhm.
But I think they really were aliens. Because when I got outside, I bet you there was 40 or 50 cop cars all over the place. Sirens running, cops were
right.
Probably a whole lot more than that. From the aerial footage, it was probably hundreds of cops.
all in panic mode too. Like I said, those three guys, I think it was 3 SWAT guys, run by me. And I think,
Back to that. So what I essentially think happens is the case is that there's going to be police officers that work alongside other departments, 3-letter agencies. It could work for the FBI, the CIA, the Men in Black. Who knows what these other agencies are? And essentially what they would do is call in the local law enforcement to help control the local area, and then the place of which is of the most concern, then they will bring in the best of the best, bring in that 3-letter agency to take care of the problem. And it's broken down into compartments. Information is very compartmentalized, and so they won't provide the details and the data of the aliens or whatever the case may be inside the mall to the local authorities. They just know that we need your support, so be here at this location, because with the collection of information and the compiling of information, it increases the security clearance or the security risk for a higher security threat. And so I would guarantee that the local police don't know what the hell happened, don't know what happened, but it's probably a high chance that the authorities inside the mall, which could be government agents or officials working for an agency, did know what was happening. And if it's aliens, it's getting covered up. The news covered it up. So they said it wasn't anything. It was just a bunch of kids with sticks and fireworks. That's it.
because they had the vest on, they had their AR-15s.
Wow.
They were, you could tell when the look on their face, they were scared. They didn't know what they were running into.
Wow.
Yeah, I would have been freaking out, dude. I mean, just hearing it, like, don't
See, something like that. Like this guy here, that he's experienced this. That's got to be life-changing, right? I suppose.
Yeah, it's life changing, man. Yeah, it's life changing, man. All right.
the way you're describing it. Even your sister, she's supposed to be sending us a video here in a second about what she experienced, but she was saying that there was, as these things were coming towards everybody and people were running, not only was that she did mention the sound that you just talked about, but she said that it smelled like every step that these things got closer of burning wire, she said.
Yeah, that's what it smelled like to me too.
Yeah, burning wire, that could have been the fireworks, let's be honest. So he's going to talk about one more thing that's of concern that makes me think it could possibly be holograms. It could be literally these beings being projected onto the surface of the mall or the surface of something. And if you remember back in the day, not even that long ago, about a year ago. Remember Spider-Man Welcome Home? Spider-Man Welcome Home, the evil villain used drone technology to project the monsters into the city, and they used drones to destroy the city. Essentially, Spider-Man didn't know who he was facing, but he was facing basically a bunch of drones at the end when it came down to it. So that's what this could have been, drone technology with holograms. Project Bluebeam.
Wow.
But yeah, that's it.
I know what that smells like, a burning wire. Because I remember ages ago, my shower started going on a blink. The wiring in the shower smell, which doesn't sound good. It wasn't good. It's a really sweet, like perfume smell. Yeah, a real strong, like not a very nice perfume smell. It's horrible.
Oh, I don't know actually what happened because when I say away, they pushed us far away. They made us go. We got in the cars. They even escorted everybody out of the parking lot.
Do you think that's because they knew what was going on and they were trying to possibly cover it up quickly, or?
I don't know. That also is a bit suspicious, is because every police officer now has to have one of these cameras on them, right? If
it's a big cover up, they were told to confiscate their cameras. They was told to erase the footage. They was told to collect all the cameras from cell phone footage from all the people that were running outside the mall. And so they collected all their cell phone stuff and basically erased it. That's what happened. Essentially, you're not going to have footage of it. Here's a little bit of footage of that CCTV camera from my last video, but other than that, it either got wiped or covered up. So,
shadow beings, when they just released that cam footage, the chest cam?
No, I don't think they knew what was going on from the looks of most of those cops. They were standing behind their cars like somebody going to shoot me. They were like,
right.
I mean, you could see fear in people's face when it may not come out.
Oh gosh,
you could just see it.
So from a winning streak at the casino to the Bayside Mall, I know you had mentioned you guys were going to go to like Bubba Gump's and get a bite to eat or something like that. Had you guys ate yet whenever you were doing your shopping?
No, we hadn't ate yet. We were going to eat, but we just left it. I don't know what time it was, maybe 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm not really sure. We stayed up all night long playing. And, when you're there 24 hours,
you lose track. I walked out of casinos at 7 o'clock in the morning and I'm like, oh my God, it's daylight.
Yeah, you don't know.
So you heard the pops, you heard the sounds, there was the smell of burning wire.
Yeah.
People were running frantic. There was tons of cops.
The figures, when I saw them, you could tell they were coming towards us.
Right.
But they didn't look like they were walking like a person would walk. If anything, they were...
Yeah, this comes down to the part where I talk about holograms. So essentially, Project Bluebeam, what it could potentially be is these drones inside the mall projecting a hologram, because what it takes is a 10-foot being would have a certain pacing of its feet as it will walk through the mall. The pacing was off. Like he said, he's going to say in a second that these beings hovered through the mall. So essentially, it would take either AI or advanced calculations to be able to get the projector or the projections of these beings to travel. So it makes it seem like they weren't real.
Kind of like sliding across maybe the thing.
Maybe like hovering?
Yeah, it could be.
And this is why some people think that it's like a projection, right? Because I'm not being funny. If
right.
you had a projector and you wanted to scare people with an image of an alien, a 10-foot alien, it would be very difficult to project an image like that where the feet are touching the floor, especially if it's going through like closer to you, because you would have to literally, the planning that it would take to make it look like feet are touching the floor would be unbelievable, right? So
it'd be real difficult to pull it off. Honestly, like I said, calculations would be real tough, because especially a 10-foot being, it's going to have a certain stride to it. And then like the mall is only so small, it's meant for humans, so the pacing will be off. Like, there's no way to calculate that unless you had really advanced technology, and it seems like it was a low budget projection.
Easier to create an image which it just comes towards you, right? There's no like feet or anything, it just comes towards you. That would be so much easier.
And very well could be. Like I said, it looked like they were shadows, but at the same time you couldn't see what was behind them. They were like a really dark figure. And it's not like the ghost figures like I've seen before or something.
Right.
Nothing like that.
Not like a paranormal, like shadow figure.
Paranormal, I'm positive of that.
Wow. That's crazy.
Wow.
You're pretty sure that there's going to be news stations and reporters and maybe even FBI showing up to talk to you, because, a lot of these people, for some reason,
more likely, we assume.
You know, in my opinion, no one's going to show up and talk to him. This is pretty much just under the water under the bridge. Honestly, it's a big cover up. The police confiscated phones and they erased data and they erased all the CCTV cameras. So there is no evidence. There was only like a bunch of testimonies and no real footage, like I said. So we're getting closer to the end. I'm going to wrap this up, but we'll listen to the last bits and pieces of what this guy has to say in his interview.
They can just transmit something out there. All technology just goes down. You can't record, you can't take photos, anything like that.
Yeah, well, he said essentially what he's describing right now is like an EMP, or technology that will prevent people from being able to use their cellular devices in these situations. Whether alien technology or man-made, we have that technology. It's easy for us to gain, for even civilians to access the technology and use it on a large scale. But I really think it was Project Bluebeam, or a military operation, something like to test the reaction of the public.
There's also another story where police were asking people to wipe their memories. Not their memories, it's not like Men in Black. You know, go on their phones and delete anything. They were checking people's phones before letting them out.
Plus a shooting, I mean, the last thing you would do is pull out your phone and you didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, and like I said, I still in my mind thought it was a movie production, and because it just seems...
That seems unreal, yeah.
It's just hard to believe. But I didn't think it was an active shooter to begin with, the way the people were running and screaming.
Wow.
And I thought, we gotta get out of here. Because, you know, bullets will go flying. I don't want my sister to get hit. I ain't worried about myself, but...
Right. When you seen the big figures, never seen nothing like that before, it probably clicked in your mind, well, maybe this is a projection or something.
Yeah, but that's what I thought. I thought they were making a movie. I thought, well, maybe all these people were hired. How did we get in here?
Explaining it, like I can see why you would think that and how you would think that, because it just seemed too sequenced and unreal and
Yeah, pretty insane, man. So thanks for tuning in for this video. You know, you're gonna get another one from me about the same topic. I'm gonna talk about, you know, other interviews and some other potential video footage or hypothesis on what actually happened that day at that mall. No one really knows, it's all inconclusive, but tune in for the next video, and I hope you like this one. Hit a like button, subscribe, fucking suck some nuts, I don't care, eat a bag of dicks, and I'll talk to you next time.